going on out there, internet? Today I wanted to take a little time and talk about the different types of barbells. Most of you all who work out in the commercial gyms, the 24-hour Gold's Gym, 10 Gym, Planet Fitness, whatever, you probably only have one type of barbell in there, probably don't know any different, in which case your gym probably sucks and you need to get a new gym. Anyway, moving on. The first type of barbell we might want to talk about, this is probably the standard type of barbell that you might find in your old standard 24-hour Gold's Gym stuff. We've got a sleeve here. This is what's called a sleeve, the collar, the shaft section. Some people call it the grip section, the knurled section. Doesn't really matter. But you notice this guy right here has two different knurling cuts in the grip section. One is for powerlifting, the power ring. One is for Olympic lifting, also known as the Olympic ring. On these particular barbells, you'll see the shaft and collar assembly spinning pretty well on some nice greased up bearings there. On this particular bar, there's no center knurling. Would basically be so that when you do your Olympic lifting, you don't skin your knees up. You don't get a bunch of rugged scrapes from this knurled section here, which might happen in like a power bar or something like that. Anyway, moving on. Next type of barbell here. This is what's known as a training bar. This guy only weighs about 20 pounds. This is going to be for anybody who wants to put some weight on the ends of these guys and just doesn't have enough strength quite yet to use a full-size 45-pound barbell or 65-pound barbell, whatever you might have. But there's nothing really that much different about it. The knurling cuts are a little less aggressive. Collar and sleeve section, same type of bearing. Definitely don't have big heavy duty bearings in this guy. You don't want to be putting a whole lot of weight on this bar, again, just for training purposes until you can get your strength up enough to use a regular 45-pound barbell. Moving on to the power bars. This is a Rogue West Side power bar. You'll notice on this the knurling cuts, the grips, are a whole lot more aggressive than the hybrid or combination barbell. It's only got one ring, one knurling cut, the power ring. This is not something that you would use to do any kind of Olympic lifting. No cleans, no snatches, no jerks, nothing like that. It's just going to be mainly just to load some weight on there, put it on your back, and get it done. One big difference in a power bar and a combination bar, the bearings on the collar and sleeve assembly are generally going to be made a little more heavy duty to accommodate those heavier weights. This one is a 1,200 pound test bar, 1,200 pound limit, which the bearings and the 1.25 inch steel for the shaft is rated for 1,200 pounds. That's what it means. On this power bar, most power bars, going to have some type of center knurling here. Main purpose for that, when you get this guy on your back and you get a heavy load on your back, 400 pounds, whatever it is, it's nice to have that grip right there to help your shoulders to just keep that bar nice and snug on your back. You don't want this to be wiggling and sliding around when you got a heavy load on your back, going down for a deep squat, something like that. It's not good. Anyway, moving on. We got this guy here. You can see where we've been using it quite a bit. I like this type of bar. This is a deadlift only bar. Basically the same thing as a power bar. It's going to have the same 1.25 inch shaft. You're gonna be able to get a little grip with it. Deadlift bars generally gonna come with some very, very aggressive knurling cuts. You're gonna be able to grip this bar very well. It's gonna, if you don't have a good callus buildup, then it may cut into your hand a little bit. That's okay. Give it a little time. That will pass. Same thing here. Power rings, extra heavy duty sleeve and collar assemblies. This one is going to be about 7.5 feet long. That's about what you're going to find. Main difference on this guy and the stiff power bar, there is no center knurling here. That's to not cut up your shins as much whenever you come up from a pull. Shins and knees don't get damaged as much. Unless you're a guy like me, your stance is a bit wider. My knees tend to get cut right here, get a little scrape every now and then. It's not a big deal, but I mean it does hurt sometimes. But it's all worth it in the powerlifting game. Another difference between a stiff power bar and a deadlift only power bar, this is going to accommodate more whip or bar bend, if you will. It will allow some flex to the steel when you have weights on the ends of this guy, which will kind of allow kind of a spring to it. It's meant to help in the deadlift movement. Some people don't like a bar with a lot of heavy whip. Some people like a bar with a lot of whip. It's kind of a personal preference deal. There's no right or wrong on how much whip a deadlift bar should have. I like to have a little bit once you get some heavy weight on there. It is nice to have a little bit of a starter to your pull, and it does seem to help me. But anyway, that's it for all the bars that you might find here, and we'll start posting some more videos and some more online content for you guys, and we'll talk to you a little later.